All right, a group of TikTok creators are now suing the government over the law that threatens to ban the social media app. You all already know how I feel about this, right? Uh, I think something needs to happen with this TikTok, one or the other. They either sell or they get banned. I would prefer them to sell in general, just because I know too many people that make money off of TikTok, and I would hate to see them, um, you know, lose their money basically, or lose their source of income. So um, something needs to happen, but it doesn't need to remain in the hands of the Chinese, hands of another country, uh, for much longer. So we'll talk about a little bit more of that later. Let's get into this lawsuit. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
A group of TikTok creators are now suing to stop a new law that threatens to outlaw the social media app here in the U.S. This legal challenge follows another lawsuit by TikTok and its China-based owner trying to block the new measure that could affect 170 million users in this country. Scott McFarlane is in Washington with the story. Scott, good morning.
Nate, good morning to you. In this newly filed legal challenge, 8 TikTok creators argue the new law violates their First Amendment rights of free speech. And they say it amounts to censorship. And they dispute arguments made in Congress that TikTok poses a national security threat because of its links to the Chinese Communist Party. The law, signed last month, would ban TikTok unless it's sold to a U.S.-approved buyer. TikTok says by January 19th. That's a timeline the company says is impossible. The plaintiffs who filed the legal challenge Tuesday include influencers with hundreds of thousands of followers, and they have some diverse backgrounds. There's a North Dakota football coach, a U.S. Marine veteran who talks agriculture, and a hip-hop artist from Philadelphia. TikTok itself filed a similar challenge in the same courthouse, the Federal Appeals Court in Washington, D.C., last week, asking judges to block or delay enactment of this new law. But there is no guaranteed timetable for exactly when or if the court hears arguments in either case. Gail?
All right, Scott, thank you. More to come on that.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to win. They're just kicking up dust. They're not going to win. They're not going to win any lawsuit. Um, I personally think that TikTok is going to kick up dust all the way to the end, and then sell, because why wouldn't they, right? They're not going to allow their platform to just be uh, taken down, right? But you know what the basics of it is, you can take out all the other words and nonsense and policies and blah blah blah. The basic standpoint, what makes me stand on what I believe with this TikTok thing, is that there's a lot of information that we share on through our phone and through social media. Lots and lots and lots and lots of information. All right. Uh, these apps are able to track everything we do: eat, sleep, workout, discussions we have, in thoughts, emotions, all of that stuff. That is very dangerous. And we're just talking from a national security standpoint. In my opinion, that is very dangerous for another company to have. And they're going to tell you, oh yeah, I mean, they've already said, oh, we don't use we don't share user data. We don't, our user data is protected, blah blah blah. These companies get hacked, and so-called hacked, and data leaks every day. I don't want to hear that. Right? So there's that. And then secondly, China does not they don't keep that same energy with their stuff. China has their own Facebook. They have their own Amazon. They have their own Uber apps. pretty much everything we have out here that we think is just normal, China and Japan and a lot of these Asian countries have their own version of that. Why? Because they don't want to share the technology. They don't want to share the profits. There's a million reasons as to why, but at the end of the day, they don't they will not allow Facebook over in China. And why is that? Because they don't want to share data. They don't want America having Chinese data. Data these days have become like the DNA, the fabric of a country. This type of data. So, I mean, to me, that should just be plain and simple, cut and dry, easy for anyone to understand why. It not only is it only right, but it's only fair. Like y'all need to either sell or get on up out of this country. Right now they want to try and, you know, I understand where the creators are coming from, but even TikTok has come back and tried to say, "Oh, it's freedom of speech." Man, get up out of here with that. Okay, I don't want to hear freedom of speech coming from China. Honestly, I mean, how things are ran in China. I don't even want to. Don't try and use that one. You can't use that one. I'm sorry. I understand it from a creator perspective. So hopefully, this whole thing turns into TikTok selling. I think they will. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What do y'all think? Y'all let me know. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.